Mushroom Island isn't the rarest biome in Minecraft. It isn't even close, actually. This may come as a shock to some of you, but what may be even more shocking is that it was only the rarest biome in the game for one major update spanning only 55 days. For a long time, this biome has been hailed as the king of biome rarity, an elusive landscape that takes ages to find. And honestly, you would be right to think so, especially considering the biomes that have held that title in the past. The rarest biomes in the game are not obvious for the most part. They have historically been weird, inconspicuous, or downright absurd biomes to hold such a high ranking. Place your bets, because today we are looking through the history of the rarest biomes in Minecraft. To determine which biomes are rarest, I've sampled a colossal amount of seeds from each major version to find out which biome comes out on top as the rarest for each version. Let's go all the way back to Minecraft Alpha 1.0.4. This was the first version to have biomes as we view them today, although this was extremely limited in scope. Upon world creation, rolling a 1 in 4 chance would turn your world into winter mode. This would change your whole world into a patchwork of snow and ice with constant snowfall. This technically makes winter mode our first ever least common biome at a 1 in 4 chance of generating. This lasted only a few months from July 9th of 2010 until October 30th of that year. On that day, October 30th of 2010, Alpha 1.2.0 was released, and so were the first real biomes. In this version are some biomes modern players may have never even heard of, like shrubland and seasonal forest. The rarest of these original 12 biomes, though, is certainly the rainforest, at about 1 in 65 odds to generate at the center of the world. That may not sound too rare, especially when compared to other biomes on this list, but there were only 12 biomes back then, and they were distributed pretty equally. Rainforest is a pretty biome, with a lot of vibrant greens, similar to our jungle today. It has that classic, wild, dreamlike Minecraft terrain of versions before Beta 1.8, and was overall a very neat, nostalgic biome, lasting as the rarest all the way until Beta 1.7.3. Next, we will move on to Beta 1.8. This version is like a dark, screwed-up version of the 1.0 release of the game. Biomes are a lot bigger than previous versions, and there are only 8 of them, the fewest of any Minecraft version to ever actually have biomes. The 6 land biomes are almost perfectly equally distributed, and ocean is by far the standout common biome here, making river the rarest biome in this version. You may think that rivers would be more common than this, but they're very thin and squiggly, and so they just can't keep up coverage-wise with the other 7 biomes at about a 1 in 45 chance. Again, not too rare, but that will change soon. 1.0, the full release of the game. This version was groundbreaking for many reasons, but by far the most important to me was the addition of my very favorite biome, the Mushroom Island. This biome absolutely skyrockets in rarity, all the way up to 1 in 778. This biome is so rare because the world generates in layers in this version. The Mushroom Island layer dictates that any 1 to 256 tile, the base building block of biomes in this version, that is ocean, has a 1 in 100 chance to become a Mushroom Island. Then, that 1 to 256 tile will then spread out on the next layers to become a full island. Mushroom Island Shore, also introduced in this update, is just barely more common due to lining the entire edge of every Mushroom Island in a thick layer. This makes Mushroom Island the rarest in the game for this version, which fits the biome as it is truly unique and, especially for the time, unlike anything else in the game. 1.1 is where things begin to get a little weird. This version adds in a lot of smaller technical biomes including beach, which, believe it or not, didn't exist before now. Beach isn't the star of this update though, that would be the frozen ocean. After being briefly removed from the biome set after Beta 1.8, it was added back into the game in 1.0. Now, however, in 1.1, beach takes up a lot of the area that used to be frozen ocean, making frozen ocean even rarer than the Mushroom Island. This biome has a chance to generate between beaches and oceans near snowy plains, instead of the normal rivers and frozen rivers. It seems to have roughly only a 1/2 chance of replacing them, shooting all the way up to a rarity of about 1 in 1,241, far eclipsing the Mushroom Island. Due to the stagnation of biome updates around this time, it stays rare for a good few updates, including a rarity increase in 1.3 due to taigas taking away coastal spots from snowy plains, reducing frozen ocean spawns and pushing it to 1 in 1,458. The biome itself is relatively boring, nearly identical to the frozen river, only deeper, but it gets a spot on this list all the way through to version 1.6. The next shakeup would come in 1.7, where things start to get crazy. 1.7 added in many, many new biomes, nearly doubling the amount of them and increasing their rarity sharply. The absolute pinnacle of this rarity increase was the modified jungle edge, legendary for being the rarest biome the game has ever seen. The staggering rarity of the modified jungle edge came from its extremely specific requirements. A 1024 block wide special lush tile, a 1 in 13 chance, has to generate. Then, one of the jungle tiles on its very edge has to border a swamp. The jungle tile has to become modified jungle, the swamp tile has to become swamp hills, and only then can a very thin strip of modified jungle edge generate between the two. This is a rare set of criteria, all of which are absolutely required, making modified jungle edge absurdly rare, up to 1 in 388,000. This biome stayed the rarest all the way through to 1.17, with slight rarity changes in 1.13, going to 1 in 338,000, and then in 1.14 to 1 in 362,000, while constantly remaining nearly 30 times rarer than the second rarest biome, Modified Badlands Plateau. The biome itself is a slightly hillier version of the jungle edge, keeping the beautiful bright green grass with much sparser trees and rougher terrain. It is easy to miss the transition from it to jungle edge, but it's a pretty unique biome when you can notice the terrain differences. After the over 8-year dominance of the modified jungle edge, 1.18 shook up the biome scene in a totally unprecedented way. Now biomes were based on noise maps instead of tiles, and biome rarities were thrown out the window. Modified jungle edge does not even exist anymore, and several of the other rarest biomes are gone too. The rarest in 1.18, and every version from then to the modern day in 26.2, ends up being the windswept gravelly hills. This biome is the modern-day counterpart of the old gravelly mountains from older versions, and is a very hilly, chaotic biome with large patches of gravel. The reason this biome is so rare is that it lies at the intersection of many narrow climate ranges, meaning it doesn't have a lot of room to generate in the first place. Erosion, in particular, must be in a very thin range from 0.45 to 0.55, which is a rather high value, making it doubly rare. On top of this, weirdness, humidity, and temperature requirements all apply, further decreasing the biome's coverage to 1 in 1017. Still rare, but a far cry from the insane 1 in 388,000 of the modified jungle edge. So there you have it, the full history of the rarest biomes in Minecraft. It's been a long journey, from winter mode all the way back in 2010 to the modern version 16 years later. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more, and leave a comment if you have any future video ideas you'd like to see me make. This video topic was chosen based on the results of a poll I made after the release of my last video, and I'll likely do more of these in the future to decide what kinds of videos to make, with options being based on things you guys suggest in the comments, so stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, and may you have a wonderful day.